"Let's go to Walmart," Elizabeth told Kenneth. She wanted to buy some paint supplies. He suggested that they go to Home Depot instead because employees there could tell them exactly what to buy. After arriving there, Elizabeth found a friendly-looking worker who was momentarily free. "Excuse me," she said. "Could you help us?" She explained that she wanted to paint her office. "Neither me nor my husband knows how to do it, so please tell us the basics," she added. He smiled and told her that it was simple. All they needed were 2 gallons of white glossy paint, a roller, a tray and an insert to pour the paint in, and an extension handle to reach the high parts of each wall. "Don't we need primer?" Kenneth asked. "Oh, yes, of course. I was getting to that. If you don't put primer on first, the paint won't stick to the walls. Here are 2 gallons of good but inexpensive primer, and a brush would be a good idea for use in the corners and edges, and that should take care of it. Just put the primer on first, let it dry for a couple of hours, then put on 1 coat of paint, let it dry. Then, if you want to, put on another coat, but it shouldn't be necessary." As they were putting the items into the trunk, Kenneth told her they should buy a ladder, too. "We're going to have to use the brush to paint up near the ceiling. The roller won't do in a corner," Kenneth said. "We don't need a stepladder. I can sit on your shoulders," Elizabeth laughed. They went back inside and bought a stepladder. It was only a '93 Lincoln, but he loved it. Not a ding on it. Only 75,000 miles, even though it was 14 years old. The leather seats were like new, as was the headliner. All the bells and whistles worked, including the cruise control and the power seats and mirrors. It even got 14 miles per gallon. What was not to love? She hated it. She hated it because she thought he loved his car more than he loved her. "We can't go anywhere because all you do is worry about what will happen to your car," she complained. "The last time we went shopping, after an hour you stopped talking and listening to me. You had that long face. I knew what you were thinking about." "What was I thinking about?" he asked. "You were thinking about your Lincoln." She continued. "When we went out to the parking lot, you walked all around it to check for fresh dings. Then, when you saw none, you unlocked the car and got in. As usual, you didn't open the door for me because you were so busy adjusting the airflow out of the dashboard vents." "I just do that to make you feel comfortable," he said. "If you really want to make me feel comfortable," she said, "sell this car." Zach drove over to his fiancée's place. She was in China visiting her parents. Her son Bradley hadn't gone with her. Bradley was a junior in high school. He neither liked nor disliked Zach. Even though he had known Zach for 3 years, Zach was still trying to win Bradley over. He called Bradley to tell him that he was coming over. Bradley said okay. When Zach got there, he checked all of Christine's mail to see if there were any bills to pay. There were none. He asked if Bradley wanted to drive Zach's car. Bradley had a driver's permit and was always pestering his mom to let him drive her car. Bradley said all right. Zach told him not to speed, but he could drive anywhere he wanted. Bradley got on the 210 freeway and headed northwest to where it meets the 5. Zach gave Bradley a few driving tips. Don't drive next to big rigs because you never know when they might tip over and crush you. Don't drive behind pickup trucks with loads because you never know when something in the truck will get airborne and come flying through your windshield. On their way back, Zach suggested that they stop at the driving range. He wanted to show Bradley how to play golf. Bradley wasn't enthusiastic. He preferred his video games. But Bradley soon discovered that golf was fun. He hit a large bucket of balls. Zach told him that he had a natural swing. The next day, Bradley, for the first time ever, called Zach. He had a few blisters on his hands. Zach said that was normal. Then Bradley asked if Zach would come by next Saturday so they could take a drive and hit golf balls again. Zach said of course, with a happy feeling in his heart. Maria had to buy food for herself and her son. Divorced for 10 years, she was used to doing the shopping for her son. He was a junior in high school, which meant that he would be entering college in 2 years. Then she would be shopping only for herself. She felt sad when she thought of this. She hoped that he would attend the local junior college and then transfer to a university. That way, he could continue to live at home for another 2 years. She loved him and dreaded the day that he would no longer be her daily company. Maria drove to Costco, a chain store that sold food in bulk packages. By selling in bulk only, the store helps its customers save money. She parked far from the entrance. That meant a longer walk, but also a faster exit from the parking lot. She grabbed one of the big shopping carts outside and pushed it into the store. Her purse stayed tightly hung over her shoulder. Surprisingly, the store wasn't too crowded. In the produce section, she examined 9 packages of seedless green grapes before she found one that she liked. She carefully selected some bananas, apples, and other fruit, but she couldn't find her son's favorite brand of tangerines. On the way home, she planned to stop at another market or two until she found them.